Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, don't do unboxings, might do a few playthroughs. But today we are going to be counting down our top 10 board games of all time. Yes, you have heard it correctly. We have endured a month of pain and suffering to bring you episodes that will eventually make up our top 100. So well done for sticking with us thus far. I know it's been a bumpy ride, but it's almost over. You're almost at the point where you can actually throw yourself off of the fucking cliff and be done with it all, yeah? So let's not waste any more minutes of your inconsequential existence. Here's number 10. Bollocks. So number 10 on our top 100 board games of all time for 2024 is a game called Twilight Imperium 4th edition. This is credited as being probably the most expensive space opera game that you can get today. I'm well aware that there may be bigger, more grandiose games that take longer to play than this, but this is also very accessible. Yeah, the rules are actually very simple. You'll be taking on the role of a faction and you'll be constructing units. You'll be sending them out into the galaxy to conquer worlds that will give you not only resources to upgrade your ships and build more of them, you'll also be able to get political influence out of them that will allow you to take over Megatolrex and become the big bad bollock of the known universe. When this one first came out, I didn't really think it was as good as 3rd edition. Now I've completely forgotten what 3rd edition was all about. And you had the Prophecy of Kings expansion, which made this one even bigger and better than before. Twilight Imperium 4 is an absolute masterpiece. Yeah, just make sure you play it with the full count of 6 players, or if you've got the expansion, maybe 8 players. I've always wanted to do an 8-player game with the long points variant, but I just haven't found anybody that would have the physical and mental capacity to complete a game of that, yeah. Twilight Imperium 4th edition, absolutely stunning game, stunning components, stunning decisions, and it tells an amazing story. Stories that you will remember in years to come, yeah. Bit like when you first got laid. Yeah, I know that doesn't include you lot. So number 9 on this list is a game that is effectively a Euro game, yeah, but it don't really feel like it, yeah, because it is actually really thematic. It's a game called Vindication, yeah. This had been knocking around for about 3 or 4 years before we picked it up. We found it on a discounted website called Yachu. I don't know if like people in the UK have ever heard of that one. They went through a period of selling some pretty decent games at cut price, so I thought, fuck it, I'll pick it up, you know what I mean? And I was absolutely gobsmacked at how good this game is, yeah. What you're going to be doing, you're going to be moving around a map, visiting locations that are kind of reminiscent from the Forbidden Islands, you know what I mean, or Myst, the video game. That's what it feels like, you know. You'll be recruiting characters, using them to have fights, yeah, so you don't have to do it yourself, and you'll be trying to, as the game suggests, become vindicated, because you're like a fucking criminal, you know what I mean? But just like every other criminal bastard that's in jail, you're not guilty, so you have to prove that you're innocent, yeah. You do this by building up your stats, and basically the first player to become vindicated wins the game. This is like the perfect Euro game for me, because it doesn't really feel like a cube pusher, you know what I mean? Even though you're going to be pushing cubes from one area of the board to the other, it's got so much theme, yeah, and the theme works, yeah. It's like everything has been designed with a thought in mind, yeah. It's not just random stuff, you know. In a lot of Euro games you think, well, why the fuck am I doing that for? Oh, in the rulebook it says that the king decided to take a dump in his commode at like 2:30 in the morning, and that doesn't fit with the mechanics of the game. But Vindication, it actually does work, yeah. You're not going to be having a shit at 2 o'clock in the morning. You what? And they've released loads of expansions for this. Do a little bit of a marketing mistake by releasing booster packs, and they're kind of hard to find now, you know what I mean? They changed the game up. You had this Hamlet expansion, added more locations. They released an expansion that embellished your character, yeah, actually gave some flesh around it. I mean, not like a D&D backstory that's been crafted by some lunatic over the course of 8 months, and then they walk into a dungeon and get killed after 30 minutes, yeah? But yeah, there was options there if you wanted to take it a little bit further, you know what I mean? Vindication offers some shocking replayability value, yeah? You could just keep going with this forever and ever. Whilst the miniatures are a little bit pointless, you know what I mean? They're just basically there for show. They don't actually do anything. It doesn't matter, because when you've got Euro mechanisms and an Ameritrash style theme that are blended together, then I ain't going to say no to that, am I? So number 8 on our list of our top 100 board games of all time is a war game that some people say isn't actually a war game, but they are talking out of their little bot because it is Memoir 44, yeah? This is a card-driven war game, yeah? It's essentially a 2-player game, but you can play it with more players. You could play it with 4 with the breakthrough maps if you wanted, and you can play it with 6 to 8 if you get the Overlord map expansions, right? What you're going to be doing, you're going to have a hand of cards, you'll be playing a card, and then you'll be issuing orders to either the left flank, the right flank, or the centre, and you'll be moving your troops around the board, maybe tanks and artillery and shit, and you'll be rolling dice trying to destroy your opponents, which will give you medals, and then you'll be able to win the game. I think what makes Memoir 44 special for me is the amount of expanded content you got for this one. I mean, you got the Eastern Front expansion, the Pacific Theatre expansion, you got the Mediterranean expansion, the Winter Wars. There's just so much content for this, and each expansion set brings something different to the table. Yeah, if you just stuck with the two-player game, it would get boring pretty quickly, but the gameplay is still compelling, right? It's accessible as well. Yeah, it's not like these, not that I'm knocking them, because I quite like GMT coin games, yeah, but some people would say that coin games aren't that complicated, and they're not really. But this one is an entry-level war game. Anyone could pick this up. I played this with my eldest son when he was like 4 years old, you know what I mean, and he didn't have any problem playing this. So it can be fiddly to set up with all the tiles and different terrain and all that, and all the troops have to go in certain positions, but fuck all that. It's worth extracting your teeth so that you don't have toothache anymore. Hang on a minute. And Memoir 44 is probably my favourite war game of all time, yeah. So number 7 on this list is another game by John D. Clare. It is a game based on a Netflix/BBC Viking drama called The Last Kingdom, and it's called Last Kingdom, the board game. You know, I said that Memoir 44 is my favourite war game of all time. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it isn't. But The Last Kingdom, I think, is better than Memoir 44. Is The Last Kingdom a war game? I don't know. But in The Last Kingdom, you'll be taking on the role of one of the characters from the series, and you'll be trying to gain influence with one or more of the different factions. You might need to influence the Vikings or the Anglo-Saxons, but you can shift allegiances throughout the game. Yeah, you'll be playing cards that will allow you to do this. You'll be playing cards that will allow you to move troops, and the thing that makes this game great is that not only will every region on the map have a battle, but you'll be doing it twice. Yeah, so you'll go through all the regions and then you'll do it again. This game is so good, yeah, and the theme comes through really strongly. Some people complain that it's got clip art in it, you know, sort of screen grabs from the TV show, but like in Spartacus, it really does add to the atmosphere of the game. I'm just thinking, you know, what would it be like if they had sort of cartoon pictures of Uhtred? It would have been fucking dog shit, wouldn't it? Yeah, so I'm really glad that they went for the screen grabs, yeah. I just hope to God that they release some kind of expansion with extra characters for this, but I can't see it because the Last Kingdom TV show is done and dusted, so I'm assuming that this game is done and dusted as well. But if you can find a copy of this, I'm not joking, it's an absolutely necessary game. I would defy anybody to say that they don't enjoy this game when they play it, yeah. It just flew under the radar a little bit. A lot of people don't actually know it exists, but you do now, so you've got no fucking excuse, have you? Nugget. Number 6 on this list is a game about trying to rip people off in Victorian England. It's an astonishing achievement by Kayenta Games. It is Obsession, yeah? I love this game so much. I've been playing this for, God, I don't know how many years now, and every time I play this game, it reveals something new, yeah? There's all sorts of different strategies you can use in this game, right? But effectively, you'll have a hand of cards with a load of personalities on it, and you'll be playing these cards to build different rooms in your mansion, yeah? You'll be trying to get these different personalities to do activities in your estate. You might want to play bowls, you might want to do a bit of archery, or you might just want to get them to stare at a fucking statue for like 7 hours, yeah? And this game is actually quite hilarious because even though these people probably didn't enjoy themselves, you can actually get them to pay you to come back and do it again. Yeah, how many times you watch Showgirls? Yeah, you probably want to take some Kleenex with you next time, you know what I mean? Obsession has got some of the best expansions. You've got the upstairs, downstairs expansion, which adds more servants and more characters, yeah? And a couple of weeks ago, we just got the new characters expansion. I don't know, I'm just speechless, yeah? It adds so much to the game, yeah? Obsession, one of the best Euro-style card-driven games you can get. Its theme is unique, yeah? The gameplay is, like, utterly enticing, yeah? And it's one of them games that you start playing and 2 to 3 hours goes by and you're thinking, like, where the bloody hell did that go, yeah? No, I haven't been taking Rohypnol, been playing Obsession, and it's superb. Number 5 on our list of our top 100 board games of all time is the greatest dexterity game that we have ever come across, yeah? I absolutely adore this game. It is a game called Karuka, yeah? What the fuck is Karuka? I can hear you scream, yeah? Well, it is a cross between carom, I suppose crokinole, yeah, and snooker or pool, depending on what version you get. Basically, what you're going to get is a Lazy Susan style board. It rotates on wheels and ball bearings, and you'll be flicking discs around this circular board, trying to pop different colours in the same way that you would do snooker or pool, yeah? That's basically it. We got our first carom board a few years ago, and I was told that that was called finger pool in certain countries, yeah? And we've even seen pictures of them using snooker cues to play it, yeah? But I never really got that impression, yeah? I always wanted to sort of think, well, what would happen if you played pool on one of these tables? And we were just perusing the internet one day, we come across it, I thought, fucking hell, someone's done it, yeah? Why hasn't this been made before? We picked it up, and it's just amazing, yeah? Build quality of Karuka tables is so good, yeah? They're made by some geezer in a fucking fucking workshop in Staffordshire, you know what I mean? And it's getting more and more popular, you know what I mean? It is a little bit expensive, but I'm telling you now, it is absolutely worth it, because you will have this until the day you die, and it's one of them things that you'll probably hand down to your kids, or if you haven't got kids, you probably have buried with you, yeah, and play it in the afterlife, yeah, that's what I'll be doing, I know that. But yeah, Karuka, the greatest dexterity game, the most innovative and common sense type dexterity game that's ever been made, in my opinion. So if you haven't heard of it, look it up, cancel your insurance policy, or maybe cancel your wife or your husband's insurance policy, you know what I mean, and pick up a Karuka table as soon as you can. You won't regret this one, I'm telling you. So number 4 on this list is another dexterity game. Did I say Karuka was the best dexterity game ever made? Well, it's a close one, yeah, because this is Pitch Car, right? Pitch Car it's a French game, right? But don't let that put you off, yeah, because you'll be flicking a disc which represents your Formula 1 car around this MDF track. But it's a modular track. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You'll be able to put these pieces of track together. You will have guardrails around the outside that stop your car from flying off, maybe. And it's basically the first player to reach the finish line in a set number of laps, yeah? If it had just been one set of Pitch Car, it wouldn't have been that great, but there is, I think, 9 different expansions, yeah, we got them all. Maybe we're sad fuckers, we got a couple of copies of some of them, and they even made this like loop-the-loop type thing, which we couldn't get hold of at the time, and I'm gutted that we can't find it, yeah. There are a couple of fiddly rules of Pitch Car, you know what I mean, to do with if you knock a disc off, and it can be difficult to get up ramps and stuff if you've got the stunt racing set and all that sort of thing, and that set comes with these polystyrene blocks, which is complete fucking shit, yeah. Replace them with your own blocks. But yeah, Pitch Car, some sad bastard went out and made up the entire Formula 1 season using this. Don't ask me why, because we're happy making up our own tracks, yeah. And once you got it, it's another one of them games that is going to stay with you forever and ever and ever, unless you have a house fire and it gets burnt along with all your other possessions. Touch wood. Actually, I won't touch wood because that's flammable, isn't it? Maybe like I'll touch some aluminium or something. Number 3 on this list is our favourite party game of all time. It is a game called Monikers, yeah? In Monikers, you will be split into teams and you'll have a card with a phrase or a word, like be a famous person or something that comes from popular culture, maybe. And you'll be playing this game over 3 rounds, yeah? In the first round, you'll have to describe what's on the card, doing anything you like. You can swing your penis around the room or garrote someone with it like I do at Christmas. You can sing if you want. You can do whatever the hell you like in round 1. You'll go through all the cards, and then in round 2, you'll gather all the cards back up, and then you'll be able to say one word or one sound only, yeah? Once you've done all that, you go through all the cards a second time, and then in the third round, you won't be able to make any sounds at all. You'll only be able to do gestures and actions and all that sort of thing, yeah? But by that time, you should have clues from the previous round. You should all be familiar with what's on the cards, right? Right? Monikers is absolutely hilarious. There's not one person I have met who has played this and not gone out and bought it directly after they have played it. It's so simple, yeah. It's like, do you remember that Lionel Blair thing called Give Us a Clue? Yes, you do, you sad fucks. You remember that. And you did have a soft spot for Eunice Stubbs, didn't you? It's a bit like that, but not like that, yeah. I think American folks call it charades, don't you? Because you're all like sort of weird like that. But yeah, Monikers, the best party game that we know of. It always goes down a hoot. And I'm telling you now, I can't wait to play this over the Christmas period. I'm actually salivating at the prospect of getting Monikers out again and just laughing at people look like plitting out of cunts. So number 2 on the list of our top 100 board games of all time is a game called Cyclades. Yeah, you thought it was going to be fucking number 1, didn't you, you fucking preemptive shits? Well, it ain't, yeah. It's dropped one place because it's been superseded by another game. Maybe temporarily, yeah, because the Cyclades Legendary Edition is about to drop in January. It's a shame it didn't drop in time for this list, but, you know, there you go. That's the way it goes, you know what I mean? In Cyclades, you will be trying to take over 2 metropolises. And the way that you do this, you'll have to build one of each type of building, or you'll have to get 4 philosophers, yeah? You'll do this by bidding on the favours of the gods, and if you get outbid, you can't rebid on the same god twice, yeah? You're going to have to go somewhere else where you can rebid on the god you got kicked out of. You'll be able to hire mythological creatures to do your dirty work for you. You might be able to get that Pegasus to ship you off to Albania, where you can build a mansion for like a couple of quid, and Ares will give you troops, Poseidon will give you boats, Zeus will make things a little bit cheaper, and Athena will give you the philosophers you need to maybe win the game, right? Cyclades doesn't have the greatest combat mechanism, as you're going to roll a die and add some shit to it, yeah? But who gives a fuck? Combat isn't really a thing in this game. It does happen, but it's not the central thing. What you'll find in this game, yeah, is that there's so much going on. You'll take your eye off the ball for 1 minute, and then suddenly, bang, someone will be close to winning, and everyone will shit themselves and start scrambling, trying to stop them from winning, yeah? I love Cyclades because of the theme. I love it because of the expansions. You've got the Titans expansion, the Hades expansion, which wasn't that great, by the way. The Monuments expansion, and you can also use the monsters from Kemet in Cyclades, yeah? And this game's going to get even better, yeah. We played the Legendary Edition at the UK Games Expo in June this year, and it just makes the game better, you know what I mean? It's got modular board, and it hasn't really streamlined it yet. It's just made it a lot better. So yeah, Cyclades has sort of dropped down one place because we have enjoyed the next game even more than this one. So number one on our list of our top 100 board games of all time for 2024 is a game called Station 4, yeah? This game is like chaos in a box, right? But it's organised chaos, you know? A bit like my son's bedroom, right? Or your crusty underpants, right? In Station 4, you're going to be taking control of one of 1,000,001 characters, yeah? You're going to be manipulating them by performing actions. But the thing about Station 4 is that you don't know who anyone is. There's going to be maybe like 12 or 13 characters in play at once. So if you're playing with 5 people, other players are going to be able to manipulate your character. They're going to be able to choose your character to take actions, yeah? And where there's this sort of hidden role thing going on, nobody knows who anybody is, yeah? Everybody's got a secret objective to perform. Somebody might think that you're the space monkey. They need to get a gun, the artifact, and need to escape the ship. They go after the space monkey, and it turns out that you're not Bubbles after all, yeah? If you think of like Cosmic Encounter and maybe like Fury of Dracula sort of merged into one with a more compelling theme, then you're sort of a quarter of the way there to understanding what Station 4 is all about, yeah? The game runs on a timer, so the game will only give you 13 minutes or a certain number of rounds to do what you got to do, or the station explodes, so you're always on the edge of your seat thinking, how many more turns have I got to do this? Station 4 is a little bit tricky to teach, yeah? There's so many different options, there's so many different actions associated with each room. You've got the Project X monster that can come out and wreak havoc, and you really do need to know what all of the different characters do before you start playing, yeah? Because otherwise you're just going to fuck yourself into the ground. But with hard work and perseverance comes a great reward, yeah? Because for me, Station 4 is probably the greatest achievement in board game designs in the last 10 years. It is without a doubt a stunning game. When you're talking about games that you remember playing in years to come, this is one of those games, yeah? You're going to be thinking back to times when you played Station 4, thinking, yeah, I remember when that happened. Do you remember when this happened and you did this and this happened to me? So when Ignacy Trzewiczek talks about board games that tell stories being the best games, he may have designed some fucking shit games in recent years. He's not wrong on that point, and Station 4 is our number one game of all time for this year. So there you go, that basically wraps up this largely pathetic diatribe by me. My opinions count for fuck all, just like your opinions count for fuck all. But I'm hoping that there have been some games that you haven't heard of on this list, right? Games that you thought, well, that looks interesting. Maybe that aging, balding ginger prick on YouTube has sort of lit a spark in my head, and I can go out, get a game, and maybe enrich my life somewhat and have some fun with some actual real people. So all that remains to be said is cheers for watching this shit incessantly over the last 12 months. Yeah, we recently got to 30,000 subscribers. Not that I give a fuck, I don't do this for subscribers, I don't do it for money, I do it because I love playing games, yeah? And I hope my enthusiasm for board games has improved your enthusiasm for this amazing activity as well, yeah? So have a nice Christmas, don't drink too much, don't end up in a fucking bush somewhere with your trousers around your ankles, yeah? Because I'm telling you, finding a cucumber lying beside you with blood on it on Christmas Day isn't a fun thing. So yeah, cheers, happy Christmas. We'll probably have a couple of days off between Christmas and New Year. We'll come back with our annual New Year rant, and we've got fucking shitloads of board games to review. Yeah, there's a cupboard understairs that's full of fucking games that we will be reviewing for next year, and we'll see you for that. So yeah, you can like fuck off and start wrapping presents now. See you later.